first 11s begin with a wayside Milwaukee City M. Fleischman. Number 5, Shea Wolf. Number 6, Ava Fox. Number 8, Cassia Johnson. Number 13, Julia Vanderhurst. Number 15, Sammy Shaver. And number 37, Samantha Anderson. Milwaukee City A.F.C. is coached by Lana Sepania. And now, the starting 11 for your Milwaukee Torrents. Your captain, number 10, Lady Higgins. In goal, number 0, Kate Hopma. Number 3, Elizabeth Arnold. Number 5, Kate Downs. Number 7, Layla Kelbell. Number 12, Liesel Aden. Number 18, Adriana Alberts. Number 20, Delaney Cox. Number 27, Greta Hansen. Number 33, Sydney Bolus. And number 88, Savannah Sieverts. The Torrents are coached by Andy Davi.
Please rise. And now, to honor America and all that it stands for, as well as our freedom and those who serve to protect it, the playing of our national anthem.
Since 2018, Andy Davi and FC Milwaukee Torrent have given some of the region's best women's soccer players a chance to shine behind the blue and white badge of FC Milwaukee Torrent. And shine they have, winning 3 consecutive WPSL Division championships, as well as a conference championship in 2023 and Franchise of the Year honors in 2022. Now on the precipice of the Torrent's 7th season of women's play, excitement runs abound as the Torrent women look to start another successful season. And what better way to begin a season than with a local derby? In a Lake Michigan division with 3 teams from the Milwaukee area, it is fitting the Torrent take on the upstart among them to start this year, Milwaukee City A.F.C. Starship may have built their city on rock and roll, but Milwaukee City has built its roster on Division III talent, fitting for a team with 8 MSOE players and one that utilizes that campus's Veets Field as its home pitch. Through their first 2 matches of the season, though, other teams have been knee-deep in the hoopla against them, calling them irresponsible, writing them off the page, and scoring 15 goals against them, 10 from the Green Bay Glory and 5 from Bavarian United. But hey, Marconi plays the Mamba. Listen to the internet stream. Don't you remember? It's the start of the season. It's the Torrent. It's Milwaukee City. And it's time to get this WPSL season underway. From Charles Hart Park in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, it's Torrent time. Good afternoon, everyone. Dan Pfeiffer here with my producer, engineer, cameraman, press box coordinator, ladies man, men's man about town, Kevin O'Connor. Call us irresponsible. Write us off the page. We are set to bring you the home opener for FC Milwaukee Torrent's side on the women's side as they take on an 0-2 Milwaukee A.F.C. squad in a Women's Premier Soccer League Central Region North Lakes Conference Lake Michigan Division showdown as the Torrent try and get their third straight defense of a division title off on the right foot. You heard the starting lineups come through just a little while ago from Mr. Kevin O'Connor, who is also doubling as our public address announcer today. For the Torrent, Layla Kelbel, Lauren Hernandez, Lola Wojcik, Lainey Higgins, Ashlyn Skinner-Barrett, Haley Christensen, Greta Hansen, Abby Hall, Sydney Ballas, and Savannah Sievert will be the ones who will line up in front of the new keeper for FC Milwaukee Torrent this year, Kate Hopma. She is out of Libertyville, Illinois, and attends Drake University. Meanwhile, for City, they will go with Maggie Tillman, Nadia Epstein, Sam Fleischman, Shay Wolf, Ava Fox, Keisha Johnson, Julia Vanderhorst, Sammy Shaver, Rachel Klemecki, and Samantha Anderson in front of Paige Sanchez, who will get her first opportunity in goal for City A.F.C. in front of Lana Sapanya, who is their head coach. Also the head coach of the Wauwatosa West Trojans program, who is very familiar with this part of town, so not much of a trip for her, as well as for a number of the players for City A.F.C. The Torrent are wearing their new cream checkered kits with black trim. Meanwhile, it will be City in the gold kits as the away side today. We are underway here at Hart Park in Wauwatosa as the Torrent kicked it off and will now try and hold possession. Looking on the near side, actually, we've got a little bit of a different look here for the Torrent to start things out. That is 36, Josie Bita on the near side. At least she's wearing number 36 for the Torrent. So we'll check on exactly who is and isn't in the starting lineup here, because the lineup that was entered into Squatty, the WPSL's official online source, did not have Bita out there for the Torrent, but we do see number 36 of Josie Bita out there playing on the left wing in an attacking position. Bita, one of the top goal scorers last year for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Torrent do turn things over, and we mentioned the Division III nature of the City A.F.C. roster. 8 players on that roster that we were able to count that attend MSOE. 2 each from Alverno Concordia, as we get a cross that crosses back behind the goal for the Torrent, and we'll have our first goal kick of the day for Paige Sanchez, the City keeper. And the club team at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, that's not Division III, that is recreational club collegiate soccer. Meanwhile, FC Milwaukee Torrent, a roster filled up and down with Division I talent, the most of it coming from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, their varsity program. 6 players from UWM, 5 from Marquette, 3 from Wisconsin, 2 each from Drake, St. Louis, and UIC. So D1 versus D3, and of course we've talked about the fact that the Torrent have won 3 straight division championships. That is a ball that is played off the defender, and they will say that it was out over the end line before it made contact with the defender, so it will be a goal kick for City. And a quick check on the City player, too, who took the ball off the side of the face. That is number 4, Sam Fleischman. She is a defensive midfielder, one of the MSOE Raiders on the City roster, hailing from Union Grove, Wisconsin, a Bronco. City still trying to work the ball out of their defensive half. Played forward, but it will be controlled by the Torrent and Savannah Sievert. Torrent will work the left side. Greta Hansen back with the Torrent. Comes back to Milwaukee from Truman State. Hails from Heartland, Wisconsin. A heavy Waukesha County influence on this team. Ball played forward. Shot past the keeper and in. A goal for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Josie Bita gets the scoring underway in the 2025 season. Torrent on the board in the 4th minute. It was a misplay straight to Bita, and Bita with the finish to get things started for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Goal number 1 belongs to the Torrent, and giving up goals early has been an issue for City. Of course, giving up goals in general when you have a squad that has allowed 15 goals through 2 matches has kind of been the issue for City. But they gave up a goal in the 4th minute against the Green Bay Glory on May 17th, 1 week ago. Ball played forward. Corner kick coming up here for the Torrent. Handling a couple technical issues up here in the box, but will be taken by Beta. We believe that is Beta, although with the number 36, as mentioned, and we'll get a second corner here for the Torrent as well. We're trying to make sure here because we've started the season, sometimes coordinating with the rosters and the folks downstairs. It has been known to happen that players will wear different rosters. The last name on the kit does say Beta, so we're going with that for now. Josie Beta out of Marquette. Played back, that's Lainey Higgins. Ball up and over the top. Shot taken by Layla Kelbell.
First Milwaukee Torrent goal by number 36, Josie Beta.
Okay, well, we've got someone in the crowd in front of us saying that's not Josie Beta. Okay, so now we have been informed that 36, despite the fact it says Beta, is Haley Christensen.
Number 36, Haley Christensen.
Okay, so now we've got the answer. Things that we don't always know before the match, but we'll make that change there. Okay, so Haley Christensen, wearing the number of her Marquette teammate, Josie Beta, is the one who scores that goal. Now we have the answer, so we'll change that around. Christensen with that goal. Kenosha Bradford product. Fellow Marquette Golden Eagle. 1-0 is your score. And back to the topic that we had. The City squad gave up goal in the 4th minute to the Glory at the Banta Bowl up in Appleton, and a goal in the 6th minute at Viets Field to the Bavarians. So that is 3 straight matches that the City side has given up a goal early in the match. Ball played across to the middle, bounced around in the box, still in front of the goalie. No possession. Now gets back to the Torrent again, trying a shot that goes across the face of the goal and wide is Ashlyn Skinner Barrett. But the Waukesha and Milwaukee Panther product plays it wide. City tries to play quickly off of the goal kick. Crossed over by the Torrent after it is not possessed. Goes off the hands initially of Sanchez. Then she will roll it back out. However, the Torrent get possession right back. Lainey Higgins. We were wondering about that. So we had a starting lineup that was submitted to us in a spreadsheet. We had another that was put up on Squatty for the Torrent, and those were not matching at the start of the match. And so we were wondering about exactly what the nature of that was. And now we are finding out that, okay, even with that, one of the players we had in the starting lineup, Haley Christensen, is wearing the jersey of Josie Beta. So, start of the season for everyone, working out the kinks. But hey, it's not whether or not you're wearing the number that is in the game program. It's whether or not you scored the goal. And indeed, the goal was scored by Haley Christensen. As we sort out exactly who is on the pitch, first time in this match that the ball has made its way into the attacking half for City A.F.C. However, the Torrent get possession back. Good fight by Greta Hansen. Gets control. However, she loses control. It's taken away by Ava Fox. Fox will put a shot on frame. However, it is a rolling, bouncing shot along this smooth turf here at Hart Park. And it is picked up easily by Kate Hopma, who restarts things for the Torrent. Sends it over towards Christensen, as we are now aware. And the Torrent will now work the right wing. Yeah, again, the D3 nature of this City team versus the D1 nature of the Torrent. Good ball forward. Skinner Barrett, 1v1 against the keeper, but coming off her line is Paige Sanchez. Sanchez able to make the save. Now looking to counter his City. Along the far touch line. Sent forward. That's Fox, who is... Correction, Fox is on the near side. Tough to see some of these white numerals on the gold kits of City A.F.C. Get an idea on who the far side striker is. That is Epstein. Titan out of UW Oshkosh on that far side. Joined on the near side by Ava Fox. Fox attends Concordia. Torrent with possession again. Lauren Hernandez. Ball played forward a bit too far for Delaney Higgins. Controlled by Sanchez. Yeah, City already has 2 matches in the books, whereas this is the opener for the season for FC Milwaukee Torrent, getting to open on their home pitch here at Hart Park. However, a slow start for City. And City is a young franchise, as mentioned. They are in their 2nd year of existence. Making the move this year to the WPSL and the Lake Michigan division. A little bit of an extra challenge. Shea Wolf over the ball. Muscled down. Possession stays with City, though. And we'll talk about Shea Wolf throughout the match as well, because possession taken by the Torrent. Torrent will work it around to the far side. Throw in for the Torrent. Played up and over the top of the goal. Be a goal kick for City. Bantied about after the goal kick, as we are getting some roster changes that are trickling up to the press box right now. So apologies if we are pausing every once in a while here, as we're trying to ensure that we have the right players identified here. And Memorial Day weekend, hopefully you take some time this weekend, certainly to pay tribute to those who have fallen in the name of what we have here in this country, but also it does mean that we are a tad short-staffed this weekend, so we are doing what we can, both Kevin O'Connor and I, to try and make sure everything is set and squared away. We appreciate your patience. Good ball played into the box. One touch! Knocked away by Sanchez. We'll check. Few dribbles forward, inside the 18. Got knocked off the ball, played it forward, could not communicate with Kelbell. That goes out over the end line, and we will have another goal kick for City. But yeah, City, a young franchise, and going with a non-profit model, choosing to go more grassroots. And again, utilizing a lot of that Division III talent, and there are so many good Division III programs around the state of Wisconsin that you can certainly build a fine squad. Is tripping over the corner flag as Haley Christensen, as she tries to control it, can't keep it in. Another goal kick for City. And want to mention Shea Wolf. She is one of 2 players on the City roster who has a history with the Alverno Inferno. In fact, Shea Wolf, one of the better goal scorers in Alverno soccer history, and I had the chance to do play-by-play for Alverno soccer through much of the 2010s decade. Had a chance to see Shea Wolf when she was there. Did transfer to Benedictine for her final season. But Alverno, an interesting soccer program on the south side of Milwaukee, as the Torrent try and work the ball along the far side. Knocked out of the box as they tried to introduce it inside the 18. It does come back to Greta Hansen. Hansen to the near side. Christensen tries to work left. Well marked. Good ball from Hansen to Christensen. Christensen marked by 3 City players. That means someone should be available for the Torrent, and they will try and work it to the opposite side now. Mollis on the far side. Skinner Barrett with a good run. Edge of the 18. Cross is deflected. Hall with a spin over. Abby Hall. She's headed to Illinois State this fall. Push from behind. It'll be a common foul. Call it against Abby Hall. Maggie Tillman, one of the co-captains for City, was the one who was trying to advance the fall. Skinner Barrett perhaps lucky that was just a common foul, given the nature. Savannah Sievert marking Nadia Epstein. Torrent able to get possession back. A little confusion between the defenders as the ball knocks about between the two of them. Lainey Higgins gets it back, plays it forward. Lola Wojcik taken away by City. Let's see if City can organize the attack. Haven't had much opportunity over the ball in this half. And indeed, they don't get much of a chance as the Torrent play it forward again. Optimistic ball along the touchline. Layla Kelbell able to fight off the defender. Kelbell, edge of the box, step over. At the edge of the 18. Sent towards goal. That goes wide. Look to the linesman to see if there was a deflection. No, another goal kick for City. But Alverno, a program that for a stretch in the 2010s, they were able to get their basketball program to the point where they reached the Northern Athletic Collegiate Conference final. Obviously a premier women's sport in the NAC. And the NAC with a number of good programs. Wisconsin Lutheran, good ball into the box, 1v1. Saved by the keeper, although they say that Skinner Barrett was offside when she took the pass, so no harm. Indeed an infraction, though, against the Torrent. City takes the free kick quickly. That is Wolf over to the far side. Looking for Epstein. Torrent take possession back, and Brad Duckworth was the athletic director at Alverno through much of the early 2010s, and Brittany Nikolic was the head coach of the soccer program for quite a while. She ended up moving on to UW Parkside, and they had about a 500 soccer team during the early part of the 2010s, but it became a bit of a struggle after that, and it was to the point when Wolf was playing there that occasionally Alverno was struggling to put 11 players on the pitch. They were having to ball into the box. That'll be sent away. It'll be a corner kick for the Torrent to bring in players sometimes without any soccer playing experience just to get 11 on the pitch. And Shea Wolf, being someone who had significant experience playing the beautiful game, really stood out on some of those teams and was often well marked. But during her first couple years, she was able to get herself pretty high into the standings in terms of goals scored in Alverno soccer history. And as mentioned, she's one of 2 players as that header heads towards the far post, but is picked up by Paige Sanchez before it can threaten. Nava Minari Irani is the one who has the all-time goal-scoring record at Alverno. New Berlin Eisenhower product. A name that's hard to forget because it's one you have to learn how to say, and I came into Alverno near the end of Minari Irani's soccer career when she was playing for Brittany Nikolic, and an outstanding goal scorer in her own right as well, but ball played forward offside by FC Milwaukee Torrent, but Wolf, a teammate of another player who is on City's roster right now, Kenzie Bermudez. She is not here today. She was the starting keeper for City in their match against Bavarians on Thursday night, but Kenzie led the NCAA in all divisions and genders in shots faced and saves as the keeper for Alverno. Now, granted, when you're facing that many shots and having to save that many. Look at this sequence by the Torrent. Ball off the keeper in the box. Played on and in. Goal number 2 for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Lauren Hernandez is on the end of the string as the Torrent double their advantage. Make it 2-0 in the 19th minute. Lauren Hernandez gets her first goal of the season for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Speaking of players from New Berlin, the Iowa State product. Right place, right time. Torrent go up 2-0. Speaking of Shea Wolf, she will come off for City. She will be replaced by Haley Ostrenga.
By number 8, Lauren Hernandez.
Ava Fox also comes off for City. She will be replaced by Jenny Fuller. (2-0) in favor of FC Milwaukee Torrent. But yeah, a Alverno presence on this City roster, which does have a very NAC feel. Northern Athletic Collegiate Conference, of course, with all of these players from MSOE, along with 2 from Concordia as well. Again, did see Wolf come off along with Fox. The Wolf-Fox combination. Very popular in wooded areas, in addition to with City A.F.C. Torrent working to see if they can make it 3-0. Lola Wojcik, good ball. 1v1. But right into the legs of the keeper, Sanchez, Layla Kelbel. Did what she could, but just couldn't find the finish. Sanchez will set the ball down and will send it the opposite direction. North to south. Here at Hart Park in Wauwatosa, where it is 58 degrees today. Mostly cloudy skies. Winds 7 miles per hour out of the southwest. 57% humidity, and we always like to talk about the wave height on Lake Michigan. You can see it off in the distance. Looks like around 1 foot wave height today, I think. No small craft advisory today. Good ball forward. Skinner Barrett far side. Looking for Kelbel. Can't find her. Kelbel slides to a stop as the ball gets by her across the end line. Another goal kick for City. Weather on screen showing it is 56 degrees right now. It's cooled off just a shade. Wind picking up out of the southwest. Greta Hansen, forward to Wojcik. Wojcik stays over the ball. Ball deflected. That'll go out. Corner kick FC Milwaukee Torrent. And we should have a new look coming up here for the Torrent. Now, again, given that we've had a few jersey number changes reported to us kind of last second here, we will give you the names that we have for the numbers, but we make no guarantee that we may be saying the right people here. I see a Kate Downs. I see a Sophia Balistreri. Lily Tabor. Cameron Reese. Jordan Cardelis. Corner kick sent up and over. Delaney Cox, Maya Wilson, and Ella Luna.
Maya Wilson, number 6, Lily Tabor, number 20, Delaney Cox, number 29, Ella Luna, number 5, Kate Downs, number 17, Jordan Cardelis, number 4, Sophia Balistrier, number 13, Cameron Reese.
Pausing to let Kevin O'Connor get that PA announcement out just in case he needs some oxygen. So 8 substitutes for the Torrent, and it is free substitution in the WPSL. No need to worry about how many subs are coming on and off at any particular point in time. Balistreri, edge of the box. The first unit gets 2 goals for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Tabor to the far side. Cardelis. Muskego product. Now attending St. Cloud State. Towards the Midland Downs. One touch by Luna. To the near side. It's one of the players still out there from the original group, Greta Hansen. Ball goes over the end line.
Coming out from Milwaukee City, number 25, Alexis Jamola.
New face in for City, that is Alexis Chamiola. A lot of new Berlin faces out here. City where I grew up as well. Chamiola replaces Keisha Johnson, defender out of Hudson, Wisconsin. One touch sending it forward from Sanchez. Back the other direction, though, it is Ella Luna, and Luna sends that one long. Goal kick for City here in the 25th minute with FC Milwaukee Torrent up on the strength of goals by Christensen and Hernandez in the 4th and 19th minutes, respectively. Good to have you on board today. Start of the season, Dan Pfeiffer. It is a doubleheader day here, family day for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Face painting, soccer, darts, and more going on. If you're in the Wauwatosa area, plenty of time for you to come on out tonight, because the men's side will have a match at 7 o'clock this evening against Conquerors out of Wisconsin Rapids. Excited about what the men can show us, just as excited about what we've seen already out of the women, as they've taken this 2-0 advantage. Ball sent to the near side. Hansen. Nice move. Balistreri. Well marked by Sam Fleischman. Sent out over the touchline. Throw in for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Right about equal with the edge of the 18. Substitute for City. Madigan Johnstone comes on.
Coming out for City, number 7, Madigan Johnstone.
She's got Samantha Anderson. Johnstone, an Eagle from Edgewood College in Madison. Attended Nicolay High School on the north side of Milwaukee. City plays the ball back to the keeper, Sanchez. One touch, he sends it forward. Ball to the left side. Johnstone looking to play direct. Corralled by the Torrent. 1v1. An aggressive move by Johnstone, the substitute for City. Taken down. Play on, says our referee, Zach Hallett. The man in the middle wearing red today. Torrent will come back the opposite direction. Downs. Knocked down. Sent the other way by Sammy Shaver. Opportunity for City. Cannot collect, though. It'll come to the near side. It'll be a throw-in. Jenny Fuller will take it. Collected straight off the throw-in by the Torrent, and Balistreri working hard at both ends of the pitch. Goes out over the end line, and we will have a little bit of rare action thus far for Kate Hopma. Hopma, the keeper for the Torrent. Coming to the Torrent from Libertyville, Illinois. Again, one of a couple of Drake Bulldogs on this Torrent squad, along with Layla Kelbel, who we saw in the first shift for the Torrent out on the pitch today. Tabor plays it to the far side. Good movement through the midfield. Wilson. Nice little shake of a move. Back towards the middle, controlled by Downs. Collision of a number of bodies over there. Some contact with Wilson. City gets possession. Talk about the NAC, and there is some quality soccer play in the NAC, even though, as mentioned, Alverno's program has at times scuffled a bit. You have Wisconsin Lutheran, who has a great program. MSOE has a good program, too. Vietsfield has been a boon for the MSOE program. That's a facility that has now been around close to 15 years. Very unique facility. It is a turf field on top of a parking garage in downtown Milwaukee, a little bit north of campus, towards the Brady Street area of town. Water and Brady, about where those two streets meet. An innovative idea, very interesting use of urban space to have that facility on top of the parking structure, and you can see a healthy amount of the parking structure, in addition to the lights of the playing field and whatnot. Expect nothing less from a outstanding engineering school that has been here in Milwaukee for over a century. Home of the Raiders. Right across the street from the current center, their large field house and multi-purpose recreational athletics facility as well. Again, a strong MSOE presence on this city side. 8 Raiders at least on this city roster. We counted 7 before the match, and then Paige Sanchez getting her first start for City this year today. Made it 8. Given the sometimes fluid nature of these rosters, as that ball was played forward into the arms of Kate Hopma, the Torrent keeper. She was able to reverse direction of the flow of play. But we will say 8 for now, but certainly it could be more at some point for Lana Sapania's team. Sapania works with a couple different youth programs around the city, in addition to Tosa West and this City A.F.C. squad. All of the familiar faces from the soccer community. Ball goes out over the end line. It will be a goal kick for Sanchez, the City keeper. A couple of players coming back for City now. Shea Wolf will return. She'll be joined by a new substitute, though, for City. It will be Kylie Kuchera. She calls Hubertus, Wisconsin home. Nadia Epstein comes off, along with Julia Vanderhorst. Vanderhorst, so we get a whistle and a foul. That'll get called against City. Goes against Fuller. Torrent decided to work the opposite side of the pitch. Cameron Reese, City thought she was offside, deflected in front of the goal, a second save, sent out over the end line. Kate Downs, right there, but impressive play thus far by Paige Sanchez. She has let a couple past her, but in a number of 1v1 opportunities, Sanchez has risen to the occasion. Corner for the Torrent. Headed away, Cox. Outside the box. Once again, it's Reese. Sent over the touchline. Throw in for the Torrent. Will be taken by Maya Wilson. Wilson, one of the 6 Milwaukee Panthers on the FC Milwaukee Torrent roster. A lot of contact. Possession for the moment comes to City. However, Torrent get it back. They will play it through the back. Hansen, again, one of the few members of the first 11 out on the pitch for FC Milwaukee Torrent right now, given the 8-player substitution that the Torrent executed about midway through the half. And you will see that quite often with FC Milwaukee Torrent during the regular season of WPSL play. Andy Davi here to make a point to give as many players time as they can. Roughly equal time as well. But with only so many substitutes, you do have to keep a couple out there. One of those right now is Hansen. We do have a player set to come on for City. It is Bree Bizdaka.
Coming out for City number 9, Bree Bizdakwa.
Bizdaka comes on for Fuller. Was earlier a substitute. Torrent can't keep the ball on. Another goal kick for City. This one will come in the 35th minute. Again, Haley Christensen wearing number 36 today, and Lauren Hernandez have scored goals for the Torrent thus far in this contest, 2-0. The Bavarians scored in the 6th and 21st minutes, then got one goal right before half. 2 minutes into stoppage time in first half play. Foul against the Torrent. The Bavs got a 5-0 win over City in City's home opener. Again, Thursday night at Vietsfield. Lily Tabor to the far side. Sent back by Wilson to Cardelis. Nice 1-2 ball on the far side. Looking for a cross. Headed away. Sammy Shaver with the good defense. Comes off the knee of Wilson. Torrent will reset. Cardelis. Well marked. Torrent will work the near side. Hansen. Nice touch to get by a defender. Can't get by the second one, though. That is Maggie Tillman, one of the co-captains for City. And yet another one of those MSOE players on the City roster. Forces the issue. Midfielder coming to MSOE from Green Bay. It's one of the interesting things when you look at the makeup of these rosters. The fact that for many of these players, while they may be playing college soccer in this area, that does not necessarily mean they are originally from this area. It does seem as though for FC Milwaukee Torrent, there is a stronger local high school presence. Perhaps not a surprise, given that Andy Davi is head coach of the Catholic Memorial Soccer program that found its way to the state tournament last year. There is some Catholic Memorial presence on both of these rosters as well. Caden Screama on the Torrent roster. Out of Waukesha, going to St. Thomas, but she's from CMH. Also on the City roster, although she was before Andy's time at Catholic Memorial, Jenny Fuller, talked about her, out of Brookfield. The Crusaders, Waukesha. Whereas City, again, so strong with that MSOE presence, but MSOE, a school that will draw from around the country, certainly has some appeal to people both in and outside of different places. Davi's Catholic Memorial team, as my producer Kevin O'Connor shows me, currently ranked number 1 in Division 3 with a record of 11-1-1. Andy Davi able to multitask. Organizing things for FC Milwaukee Torrent while also managing that Crusader team. State tournament coming up in June. It will be here in Milwaukee, WIAA State Tournament. Once again, being held at Eline Soccer Park on the north side of town, a familiar place for some Torrent fans. If you remember way back when FC Milwaukee Torrent used to play some of its home matches there. Previous home for the side. Torrent tried to go on the run. Unable to keep it across the touchline is Balistreri. Good try for the UNI Panther and former Muskego player. Muskego, a defending girls soccer state champion in Division I. The Warriors. A lot of good soccer in Waukesha County. Number of strong youth clubs out there. Of course, Torrent now with their own youth program as well. Good one touch. Wilson. Shot past the keeper and in! A goal for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Maya Wilson. It comes off the assist by Cameron Reese. Scored in the 40th minute for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Wilson from Reese. And the lead is now 3-0. A mini ball will get tossed towards our camera position as Maya Wilson becomes the third different goal scorer on the day for FC Milwaukee Torrent.
Third Milwaukee Torrent goal by number 23, Maya Wilson.
Great move after the outstanding assist by Cameron Reese. Reese, a UIC Flame, hailing from Waukesha. Wilson, a Milwaukee Panther, out of Downers Grove, Illinois. Wisconsin to Illinois to Wisconsin. Add it up, and it's 3-0 in favor of the Torrent. Throw in for the Torrent, who might be trying to get 4 here before half. Sent over to the near side, Hansen. This is often the way that it will work for FC Milwaukee Torrent as well, where it will be the defensive players who will be the ones who stay out for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Hansen, as mentioned, part of the first 11 for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Sievert as well. Cardelis to the far side. Good touch and turn. Unable to control it between Reese and Delaney Cox. Goal kick for City. No, they're going to say this is a corner. Corner for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Reese will go over. She had the assist on the previous goal by Wilson. 43rd minute now. FC Milwaukee Torrent up 3-0. Good ball into the box. Maybe not looking for it was Greta Hansen. Skidded off the top of her head, but still controlled by the Torrent and Balistreri. Sievert to the middle. Ricochets off a couple different players. Sent to the far side by Tillman. Little collision. Ball sent forward in the air. Sievert able to control. Torrent will reset. Ball played down the touchline. It'll go out off of Maya Wilson. The most recent goal scorer for FC Milwaukee Torrent. It'll be a throw in for the Torrent. They say it was off of the City player. Good run through the middle. Shot taken from distance. That goes beyond the near post. Ella Luna records a shot. Luna, a Creighton Blue Jay out of Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin. Such a good women's soccer program up in Whitefish Bay. Traditional power. The Blue Dukes, a consistent presence. At the WIA State Soccer Tournament. Robbie Dubinsky, the head coach up there at Whitefish Bay. A lot of good players have come through that Blue Dukes program. Nice touch by Wilson. Already had the goal. Wilson showing us some things in her time out on the pitch here in the first half. Very decisive with that first touch, Wilson. When you can make a quick decision and a controlled decision off that first touch, and the defender doesn't know which way you're going, left, right, up, down, there's just no time to adjust. Saw it on the goal. That's Wilson there. Again, one touch, although trying to get it back to a teammate. First appearance of the train here at Hart Park. As much a tradition as there being lines for 17 different sports on the field and a variety of other things here at Hart Park. Always got to have a few appearances by the train during the day. Of course, makes us think of T-Man, who we haven't seen as much of the last couple of years, but FC Milwaukee Torrent's biggest super fan, who always liked to sing the song about the train. Here comes the train, here comes the train.
The referees indicated 1 minute of extra time.
We will have 1 minute of added time here in this first half. Ball juggled a bit by Sanchez off of the bouncing through ball by Reese. Don't know if Reese was intending to put that one on frame, but it did force the issue for Sanchez. We'll have a throw in for City. Good chance this will be the last opportunity for City to try and advance the ball here during this first half of play. Unmarked, middle of the pitch. That was Kuchera. Played it back to Bizdaka, but Bizdaka sends a ball directly to FC Milwaukee Torrent, and that will prompt our halftime whistle. 3 goals for FC Milwaukee Torrent in this first half. Haley Christensen, Lauren Hernandez, and Maya Wilson, helped out by Cameron Reese. They come in the 4th, 19th, and 40th minutes, and that is why FC Milwaukee Torrent has a 3-0 lead on Milwaukee City A.F.C. as the two teams head to the locker room for halftime. We'll come back and talk a little bit about what we saw in this first half, as well as get you ready for the second half and our second game of the night, as it'll be the FC Milwaukee Torrent men taking on the Conquerors out of Wisconsin Rapids. Again, 3-0 your score right now as FC Milwaukee Torrent leads Milwaukee City A.F.C. at halftime. This is FC Milwaukee Torrent Soccer. This right here is my kind of party, especially when FC Milwaukee Torrent has a 3-0 lead on their opposition. Today, that opposition is Milwaukee City A.F.C. My name is Dan Pfeiffer. Kevin O'Connor is punching all the right buttons to make sure that we get onto the stream today. And FC Milwaukee Torrent has been on it all day long thus far. Haley Christensen with a goal in the 4th minute. Lauren Hernandez at the end of a string, including a deflection in the 19th minute. And Maya Wilson got the scoring restarted in the 40th minute off of a nice ball played into the middle by Cameron Reese. Really, possession has belonged to FC Milwaukee Torrent much of the day. I would estimate that about 90% of the time the ball has been in the attacking half for FC Milwaukee Torrent this afternoon. It's just been a question of how organized they've been when they've been in front of the goal. And you can just kind of see the difference in the talent, particularly on the first touch. And we talked about it quite a bit with Maya Wilson and her ability to just redirect the ball as soon as it comes to her feet. City just not quick enough to adjust in terms of their back line. And that's some of what you get in terms of the difference between Division I and Division III players. We kind of knew that coming into the day, given the results that City had coming into the afternoon with the 10-0 loss that they had taken to the Green Bay Glory. By the way, in the standings, even though it is a 10-0 defeat, it shows up as a 5-0 defeat because there is a cap on winning margin. When you get to a certain point in terms of goal differential, they don't allow you to show a winning margin any larger than 5 goals. So it really doesn't doesn't do you any good to run up the score at a certain point. And again, it's a participatory league. It's one of those things where if you beat a team by 5, if you beat a team by 7, if you beat a team by 10, it shouldn't make that much of a difference. And it's something that the league does to discourage teams from feeling as though they should run up the score against lesser sides. So that is the case. So both the Bavarians' 5-0 win over City and Green Bay Glory's 10-0 win over City look like 5-0 wins in terms of goal differential as City kicks things off to start this second half of play. But it's a growth process for City, and again, different. It's important to note too, different clubs have different goals, and for FC Milwaukee Torrent, it is bringing in some of that top collegiate talent, a lot of that talent that, again, whether it be who Andy Davi has had a chance to see as a high school coach in Waukesha County through the years, or whether it's some of that top collegiate talent coming to Davi from UWM or Marquette, even in some cases Wisconsin, to be able to give them the opportunities, whereas City, again, a side that is made up more of these Division III players, giving some of the MSOE players an opportunity to play over the summer. And some of these players, it was notable too, a lot of FC Milwaukee Torrent's talent, currently sophomores, juniors, heading into their senior year in college. Whereas City, we talked a little bit about Shea Wolf and her history with Alverno in the first half. A lot of these City players, if they're in school, they're later in their college careers. A number of these City players done with their college careers. Ones that are playing really more just for the recreation of it than anything. So it's again, different clubs, different goals at this level. And, whereas the Torrent are looking to claim a 4th straight division championship, but we're not going to say that City isn't out here to play competitive soccer. They're not out here to win. Of course they're out here to play as competitively as they can and get some goals on the board and play some winning soccer. But ultimately, it's just a very different makeup for these two teams. And the results have been what they have been for City. They are now facing if you don't go by the standings goal differential, but you go by the real goal differential, an 18-0 goal differential on the season through 2.5 matches played thus far. But, you didn't see anyone looking down on the City side. There was still a lot of smiles. Still a lot of folks, you see them over there on the touchline right now, high-fiving each other, and, anything they can get that's positive, they'll take with them. And that's ultimately what the goal is for this City side, as we get a shot by City, played on by Nadia Epstein. But it is saved by the new Torrent keeper. That is not Kate Hopma out there. That is Brooke Nelson, who has taken to the pitch for FC Milwaukee Torrent between the posts. Nelson, a Wisconsin Badger, hailing from Menominee Falls. Torrent coming back the other direction here as we are just a few minutes into this second half of play. Sunny day. It has been a cool week here in Milwaukee. We had rain in the middle of the week. It rained a significant amount on Tuesday, upwards of an inch of rain in places in Milwaukee. Continued raining into Wednesday, and it has been a cool start to this summer season here. A lot of folks think that Wisconsin is some sort of a barren, wintry landscape all year long. Of course not. For those of you who live here, you know that we have temperate summers, and it can get into the 90s, even up into the 100s sometimes, rare occasions, during the summer here. We do have a player down for City. Shot on, saved, and the action will come to a halt here as we have a City player down. That is one of the co-captains. Looked like she took a shot to the head, although also struggling to get up. Holding her right knee as well. Trainer along with City coach Lana Sapanya coming out. And again, given the fact that this is a level of play where these players have other lives, other jobs, other things that they do, You never like to see anyone down on the field and hurt in these situations, so. Still waiting to get an ID. Again, we did see the captain's armband, but not sure if it's Tillman or Klemecki just yet. We'll get an ID on the number as you can see a visible limp. Sporting of the entire crowd to give some applause as Madigan Johnstone will be the substitution who comes on.
Coming out for City number 7, Madigan Johnstone.
Believe that's Tillman, and it is. Maggie Tillman, mentioned her a few times in the first half, midfielder. Part of that strong MSOE contingent. Shea Wolf in the middle. Julia Vanderhorst back out there, taken away by the Torrent. Wojcik into the middle. Christensen, who scored the first goal of the match, couldn't maintain possession. Ball sent to the far side. Touched by Kelbell. Forced off the ball. City able to clear. Paulus. Sievert to the far side. And Hansen. Greta Hansen. Good ball forward. Kelbell. Couple touches. Finds a teammate to Higgins. Played back. Touched over the end line. We'll have a corner kick for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Looks like it'll be Christensen to go over and take it. Haley Christensen. Looks like it'll be an in-swinger. Kelbell near posts. Over the top to the far post. Skinner Barrett was in the area, but couldn't get a foot on top of it. City still has Paige Sanchez out there as their keeper. Sanchez punts it away. One touch for Ballas. Sends it to the near side, and Skinner Barrett looking for an opportunity to make a move. Now reverses course. Inside the 18. 7-on-7 crime. That's Johnstone, who came on for Tillman, who is still in the training tent. Christensen with a little fake. Touched out by the defender. Another corner kick for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Charles Hart Park, as you can see, with all that rain that we had earlier this week, trees are fully grown in now. It's looking like summer, even if it doesn't quite feel like summer just yet. Headed. Second touch. Skinner Barrett almost made it 4-0. Outstanding one-handed save by Sanchez. Edge of the 18. Good move. Shot on. Save, Sanchez. Lolowacek. Tried with the left foot. Sanchez. Right place, right time. Still 3-0 in favor of the Torrent. Torrent come forward. Just a brief touch by the defender, but it is enough to send the ball out over that end line. And another corner kick for FC Milwaukee Torrent. They'll take this one quickly. Higgins. Edge of the 18. Looking for Skinner Barrett just a little bit above her leaping head. And City will send it away. Yeah, later tonight it'll be the men opening things up against the Conquerors. Kevin O'Connor will be multitasking, producing, doing PA, doing a little play-by-play, you name it. Unfortunately, I have to go and do some gridiron football tonight, semi-pro action. But Should be a good opener for the Torrent men as well, and we are excited about what the men will present this year. Should be good sides on both sides. And this thing that Andy Davi has built, just tremendously impressive. And you look back along the history of this Torrent side, and there have been some good Torrent teams through the years, but it's tough to think of a year where the excitement has been quite as high as this one in terms of both the men's and the women's sides and the possibilities for both. It is now to the point that, and it's a little bit difficult for those of us who have been there from close to the very beginning. I was a fill-in public address announcer the very first year that FC Milwaukee Torrent were around. I actually remember going to the introductory meeting where they were trying to organize supporter groups and whatnot for FC Milwaukee Torrent, and it still feels, to an extent, like a newer club. And certainly for those of us who have been following the beautiful game for a long time and know about all of the English clubs that have been around since the 19th century and whatnot, history in soccer is something that is a different thing to discuss when it comes to American clubs, and particularly this level as well, where, United States soccer in general, in terms of the establishment of a lot of clubs, and you do have the sides like the Bavarians who have been around for a long time, the amateur sides. That one goes off of City. It'll be a corner kick for the Torrent from the near side, but really it's almost like American soccer restarted with the World Cup in 1994 and MLS coming onto the scene, and now you have USL and certainly all of the different levels of the game that include the Torrent and the NPSL and the WPSL, all the levels of the women's game. It's something where you think of the Torrent as a newer type of club, but really this is an established organization. I mean, most of these players that are out there ball headed into the box, collision between the keeper and one of the defenders, but Sanchez, the keeper, does get the ball. Been around for a decade, and women's club is now in its 7th season of play, 8th year of existence. No Torrent action during the summer of 2020 as the Torrent joined most of American sports in terms of shutting down due to the COVID pandemic. But, this is a group that, you have players now who have played some youth soccer with FC Milwaukee Torrent. That will be a foul against City. Free kick for the Torrent from a dangerous spot. Already with a goal on the day, Haley Christensen. She will get the opportunity to take this free kick from 25 yards out. And there are very few pitches out there where it's easier to tell how far the ball is out from the goal than this one where you have the gridiron football markings. In addition to the lacrosse markings for both the men's and women's games. In addition to the field hockey markings. That is a ball that is spun around the wall. Bend it like Beckham with the left foot. Haley Christensen. However, she didn't get a lot of loft on that ball. It kind of just spun around like a pool shot with some English. A billiards ball, if you will. And Sanchez was able to read it easily. But, yeah, the hopes are high for this FC Milwaukee Torrent team, which is, again, now well established, and the Super Y League team, all of the things that the Torrent have done through the years, and built up a fan base, too. A couple of subs coming on for City. Clara Farley makes her first appearance of the day. She is joined by Hadley Ostrenga. Farley, a Greendale, Wisconsin native who goes to the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire, home of the Blue Golds, up in northwest Wisconsin. If the temperatures have been cool around here in Milwaukee during the past week, I can only imagine how cool it's been up in Eau Claire. Northern part of the state. Had the opportunity to visit the UW Eau Claire campus once about 20 years ago or so. I was just out of college myself. Went up there to go to a formal event with a friend at one point in time during my more single days, and it was a good time. After that, took about an hour drive north to go up to Ashland, which is right on Lake Superior. Some good soccer programs up in Ashland as well. Home of the Ordockers. Collision between Abby Hall and Rachel Klemecki, the co-captain for City, who is still out there after the injury to Tillman. They will call the foul against Klemecki. Klemecki not exactly happy with the call. Lainey Higgins restarts things for FC Milwaukee Torrent in the 61st minute, 2/3 of the way through this match. FC Milwaukee Torrent with the 3-0 lead on City. Trying to make it 4-0. Ball into the box, one touch, corralled by Sanchez. Once again, it's Christensen trying to make it a brace. Kevin O'Connor making a backyard baseball reference here with Paige Sanchez, referring to the GOAT of backyard baseball, Pablo Sanchez. Shouldn't just say backyard baseball either. GOAT of backyard sports. He was pretty good in the football game too, yeah. And they had backyard everything. They did have backyard soccer too. But Pablo Sanchez, power hitter. Take that little pause before he stepped up to the plate, dig in. Good movement through the box for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Lainey Higgins up over the top. The only question is whether or not the keeper Sanchez touched it. Zach Hallett, our referee, will say no. It went off of the top of the crossbar. It'll be a goal kick for City. Time between goals for FC Milwaukee Torrent. They scored in the 4th minute to start the match. Took them 15 minutes to score their next one, Lauren Hernandez. Maya Wilson scored in the 40th minute, so it has now been 22 minutes since the Torrent's last goal. We are in the 62nd minute. Shot on and saved, Layla Kelbill. One touch with the left foot. Sanchez able to get the save. You can see how organized the Torrent are. And again, it's that off-ball movement when on the attack that makes a difference. And you can't anticipate too much if you are playing in the back for a team that may be trying to defeat this Torrent side. It gives you so many options when you have a team that is organized, knows where each other will be off the ball. And as you can see there, good movement off the ball by Kelbell. She is open. She sends it over to the near side to Skinner Barrett. She'll chase it down in the corner. Little nutmeg action. Sent out. Corner kick FC Milwaukee Torrent. It has been a good day for FC Milwaukee Torrent in terms of what they've shown. No, it hasn't added up to any goals yet here in this second half, but we're seeing the skill. We're seeing this side do everything Andy Davi wants them to do. One touch just wide of the near post. Lauren Hernandez trying to make it a brace. We mentioned Hernandez going to Iowa State. She helped lead New Berlin Eisenhower to a state championship as a senior, was named first team All-State and an All-American in 2022. She's going to be a senior at Iowa State, majoring in finance and marketing. That was the first girls soccer state championship for New Berlin Eisenhower. They defeated Green Bay Notre Dame, quite the program in their own right, 6-1 in that match, and Hernandez had a hat trick. One of the more dominant performances that we have seen in some time in a state championship match. Whitefish Bay's had a couple as well.
Coming on for City, number 16.
On for City, Jenny Fuller. She returns. Replaces Epstein. One of the names on the FC Milwaukee Torrent roster this year, although we will not see her today, Taylor Schad, led the Kiel Raiders to a state championship, the first state championship in the just under 100-year history of Kiel High School. All-time top goal scorer in Wisconsin high school history. Moved past Ashley Bars, Ozaki star. Also a coach for many years after playing at Marquette, but Ashley Bars, that is. City brings Bree Bizdaka back on.
Coming back for City, number 9, Bree Bizakwa. And number 17,
She'll be joined by Natalie Esparza. Esparza played her college soccer at Concordia University, Wisconsin. She is currently an assistant coach at the Milwaukee Area Technical College. The Stormers of Milwaukee Tech. Of course, the Torrent should have their substitution package coming on in just a little while. This will be a corner kick for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Strong challenge by Johnstone. Runs into Ashlyn Skinner Barrett near the end line. It'll be Christensen to take this corner from the near side. Should be an outswinger if she doesn't go short with it. Indeed, off the hands of the keeper. Headed towards goal, up and over. Lauren Hernandez talking about Eisenhower. Yeah, Taylor Schad led Kiel over Cedar Grove, Belgium in a 6-5 overtime thriller in which Schad scored 4 goals for that Kiel side. Spent a year at Marquette. Transferred to Wisconsin. Did suffer an injury. Was not able to contribute much last year, but now with FC Milwaukee Torrent as well. Looking forward to seeing Taylor Schad, although again she is not part of the active roster today. Part of the active roster, though, for FC Milwaukee Torrent, all of these substitutes that you see coming on right now, including Lily Tabor, Maya Wilson, Kate Downs, Sophia Balistreri, Cameron Reese, Jordan Cardelis, and Delaney Cox.
number 23, Maya Wilson, number 17, Jordan Cardelis, and number 20, Delaney Cox.
Fresh look for FC Milwaukee Torrent, as we typically see at about the 23rd and 68th minute marks in each half. Of note, too, Greta Hansen will stay out there. She will play the whole match for FC Milwaukee Torrent. However, we did see Savannah Sievert come off. Sydney Bullis will be the one who stays on for FC Milwaukee Torrent, and we will have a corner kick for FC Milwaukee Torrent. It'll be Cameron Reese. We'll take this with the new group on. Kate Downs standing on the goal line right now, right in front of the keeper, Sanchez. We'll go over her head as well as a number of other heads towards Ballas. Bantied about in the box. Headed towards the edge of the 6. Getting under the ball is Reese. It'll be sent out over the touchline, and it will be a throw-in for the Torrent. (3-0) in favor of the Torrent, and is notable that, yes, the Bavarians did beat City 5-0. Now, it's not a competition necessarily as who beats who by more or less. Different teams take different approaches. The Bavarians got their third goal 2 minutes into stoppage time in the first half of their match. They did not score their fourth goal until the 73rd minute. If you are one who wants to make those comparisons, but we are not. As, again, every match has a different flow. Each situation is different, and ultimately, it's a matter of do you or do you not end up in the left-hand column, getting the 3 points. Chipped up and over the top. Kate Downs can't find the upper corner. Goal kick for City and Sanchez. Ball played back towards the net. Almost an own goal. It'll be a corner kick for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Some smiles and some laughs as that one rolls past as Julia Vanderhorst nearly scored the first goal of the match for City. Only problem is she almost scored it on her own net. Now the official is running over to the corner. Wants to have a conversation with his linesman. Not sure exactly what this is about. Now he's having a discussion with Andy Davi, the manager, owner, FC Milwaukee Torrent. Andy is one who is known to make his thoughts about officiating known, and he has done so here as he has earned the first booking of the match and the season for FC Milwaukee Torrent. As clearly he said something to our referee, Zach Hallett, that Mr. Hallett thought was worthy of giving a caution to. Well, whatever Davi thought he saw there, clearly Hallett did not agree. Corner kick off the hand of the keeper. Once again chipped up and over. This time that's by Lily Tabor. Goal kick for Milwaukee City after the booking given to Davi in the 72nd minute. City plays the ball forward. No one there from City, though. Coming well off her line is Nelson. One touch to a defender. The defender says, why don't we go the other direction, as City does bring up a little bit of attacking pressure. Ballas to the middle. Tabor. Far side. Throw in to come for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Shea Wolf steps back to midfield for City. She will return to the pitch. Wolf has occupied more of a attacking midfield position today rather than the striker position that she occupied at both Alverno and Benedictine. Nice 360 move over the top of the ball. Reese couldn't maintain possession, though, controlled by City. To the near side, Pizdaka. Unable to keep control is Jenny Fuller. We'll get a throw in for City as the official will rule that the ball did go over the touchline. And we will see Shea Wolf return for City.
Coming up for City, number 5, Shea Wolf.
She's going to replace Fuller, and she will take the spot up at the striker position. Torrent get control back. Downs. Inaccurate with the pass. Momentary possession for City and Estrenga. Native of Wauwatosa, very familiar with Hart Park. Torrent Luna over to the far side. Good marking over there for Esparza. Ballas. Ball sent along the touchline. That'll go out for a throw for FC Milwaukee Torrent. New kits today for the Torrent, wearing the cream and white checker colored kits. Influenced a little bit by Milwaukee's motorcycle culture, of course, Harley Davidson. Calling Milwaukee home. Wisconsin Harley Davidson, one of the sponsors this year for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Ball played to the near side. That's Tabor. Deflected. Comes back out to the Torrent. Cox crosses. Directed away from the goal at first. Not really a intentional shot there, but nonetheless, Sanchez has to go to the ground. She does pull it down. Now, it's worth noting, Andy Davi is now coming over to the fourth official and is making a case about some of the contact inside the 6. Davi has to be careful. He is working on a yellow right now. With this match seemingly well in hand for FC Milwaukee Torrent, the last thing you want to see happen for Davi, or anyone for the Torrent for that matter, although Davi is the only one with a booking in the match right now, is to run the risk of a suspension for another match, with the discussion going on at this point. Edge of the 18. Cross right there. Off the body and reeled in by Sanchez. Great cross by Cameron Reese, looking for her second assist. But it was Sophia Balistreri that couldn't get the first touch she wanted, and instead it ricochets off her to Sanchez. Sanchez has had a good day in goal. She has added something today for City. But yeah, these checkered kits with the cream coloring. A little bit of an orange flair to it, too. A color that we have not seen as part of the Torrent's arsenal thus far. We've seen a cream color before for the Torrent. They had those very sharp city map kits at one point in time. Had the blue of the lake, the navy blue, and the cream-colored map. Of course, blue has been part of the Torrent's color scheme from the very beginning. A variety of different kinds of blues. Light blue, royal blue, navy blue, you name it. Some black has been added through the years as well. An anthracite gray, even.
I love the keeper kit. The keeper kit's cool. The black checker with like the orange details on it.
But now a little bit of orange trim for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Of course, in soccer, teams are not necessarily as beholden to particular colors for their alternate kits. You've seen a lot of different sides wearing a lot of different colors through the years, more so for their primary kit. But the change strip oftentimes is something different and unique almost every single season. And Torrent going with the cream and black this year, but for as much as many of the world's greatest sides are known for wearing particular colors most of the time, of course, Chelsea wearing their blues, Arsenal with the red and white, Man City with their all-red strip, oftentimes going with the white shorts as well. When it comes to change kits, you see a little bit of everything sometimes. Chelsea was a side that wore gold for a while. They had an orange kit for a while. Good move towards the goal. Shot on and in! Credit the assist to Delaney Cox. And she's the one who finds a hard-charging Sophia Balistreri. And Balistreri gets the finish in the 80th minute. The Torrent with 3 goals in the first 40 minutes of this match. It takes them 40 more minutes before Balistreri, with a spectacular move towards the goal, and it doesn't take her much to slide it past the keeper, Sanchez. Delaney Cox, what vision to see that pass across the box and put it right on the money. For Sophia Balistreri, it is 4-0 in favor of FC Milwaukee Torrent. That's as pretty of a goal as you're going to see here at Hart Park. So well done on the part of Balistreri. Torrent charging for 5. Reese decides to take it herself right into the breadbasket of Sanchez. Ultimately, that's what you want to see in these sorts of matches. You want to see the connection between the players form. Balistreri, a Muskego Warrior, UNI Panther, Delaney Cox. Out of Madison, going to school at Wisconsin, University of Wisconsin-Madison, the Badgers. Up and over the top. Cox looking to find Balistreri again. This time, though, defender gets a foot on it, sends it out over the end line. It'll be a corner kick for the Torrent. Reese will take it, and we have multiple substitutions coming on for City. Also returning for the Torrent, Savannah Sievert.
Coming up for City, number 10, Kylie Kuchera. Number 3, Nadia Epstein. Number 25, Alexa Geniola. Number 8, Cassia Johnson. Number 16 is Jenny Fuller.
Kylie Kuchera among those coming on, along with Jenny Fuller. Corner kick for the Torrent, sent away momentarily.
The Torrent, number 88, Savannah Sievert.
This will be an attempt from distance, up and over the top. '83rd minute, Torrent up 4-0. Torrent will get a throw in on the near side. Ballas. Nifty touch by Cox. Back to Ballas. Sievert. Back on the pitch for the Torrent. To the near side. Cox again. Looking to go left instead. Finds Wilson. Kate Downs back out there for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Luna in the middle. Maintaining possession is Tabor, despite the fact she got tripped up at the edge of the 18. She'll send it to Luna. Far side. Sent on and over. Kate Downs has to bring it down. Kate Downs too high up. 4-0 in favor of FC Milwaukee Torrent. Been a good day so far here at Hart Park. And again, this is the first two. Still time to get out here. See the Men and the Conquerors out of Wisconsin Rapids. That one will take place at 7 o'clock. Come on out and enjoy some of the Family Day festivities as well. Face painting. Soccer darts. I was tempted to take my shot at soccer darts down there. The soccer ball is covered in Velcro, as well as a large inflatable Velcro dartboard. kind of the combination of all of the elements that you could think of from the first season of Ted Lasso, I guess. Barbecue sauce.
That's such a good show. It's like my second favorite show of all time now. I watched it earlier this year.
Be a goldfish, folks.
The mental health journey of Ted Lasso was pretty awesome.
86th minute of this match as we think about shows on Apple TV with this 4-0 lead. Run here for City. Haven't seen City on the attack much today. Torrent able to disrupt Jordan Cardelis. City still over the ball, though. Played up in the air by Jamiola. Headed forward. Opportunity here. Shot. And it's saved by Nelson. Knocked away towards the end line. Little left-handed shot. Left-footed shot, we should say. If it was a left-handed shot, we'd be talking maybe about the hand of God. No. Was taken by Epstein, who's back out there for City. Torrent did get possession back. We're able to get it back in the attacking half. Played inside the 18 briefly by the Torrent, but Jamiola will send it away. So this one will be a victory for the Torrent to start this 2025 campaign. A good way to get it underway. City will fall to 0-3 on the season. Goal differential for City will be at least 19 to the negative. Although in the standings it will show up as at least 14. Still time for the Torrent to maybe get one more, but certainly no pressure to do so given the situation in this contest. End of the day, it will be a victory for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Next up for FC Milwaukee Torrent will be the Amateur Cup USASA. They will take on the Green Bay Glory. There'll be a 7 o'clock start for that one. And then on Saturday, the Torrent will face the Glory again. That will be back here at Hart Park. Whereas the Amateur Cup match will be at the Banta Bowl up in Appleton. So it'll be 7 o'clock for both of those matches. Make your way up to Appleton if you want to see the Amateur Cup tie. And then be back here at Hart Park on Saturday night if you want to see the women again on May 28th. Or May 31st, we should say. Meanwhile, the men do have that match tonight against the Conquerors. Their next home match after that will be on June 7th when they take on the Southern Indiana Guardians. That will be a 7 o'clock start. Torrent opening the season with a number of matches on the road here. We talked about the women in that Amateur Cup tie. Torrent men opened against both FC Pride and Geo's Lions out of Chicago. Got the 4-3 victory against Geo's Lions and the 3-0 victory against Pride. So a 2-0 start for the men, and they'll try and make it 3-0 tonight against Conquerors. This one, currently in favor of the women, looking to maybe get that 5th goal. Ball played across, shot on, saved by Sanchez. We should not have much stoppage time here at the end of this contest. Torrent trying to get that 5th goal. That is the most you can get to help your goal differential. No sense in getting more than that. Only if it's there for you. Ball played out over the touchline. We're not going to have any stoppage time. The referee points back to the center circle, and that is your match. FC Milwaukee Torrent with goals in the 4th, 19th, 40th, and 80th minutes. Christensen, Hernandez, Wilson, and Balistreri are your goal scorers, and they get a shutout against City A.F.C. 4-0 is your final here at Hart Park in today's women's opener. A complete victory for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Clearly the better side, holding possession much of the match, not giving City a chance to get off the canvas. And FC Milwaukee Torrent starts its 3rd straight defense of a division title with a victory over City here at Hart Park today.
Milwaukee City A.F.C. 0. Goals.
An outstanding match for FC Milwaukee Torrent. A good start to the season, and it should only get better from here. Again, FC Milwaukee Torrent with 2 matches coming up against the Green Bay Glory this week, an amateur cup tie on Thursday night in Appleton, and then they'll be back here at Hart Park on Saturday night to take on the Glory again in a WPSL tilt. Both of those matches will start at 7 o'clock. My thanks to Kevin O'Connor, whose job only gets a little bit more difficult from here, as unfortunately I have to head on down to Racine to cover some gridiron football. My name is Dan Pfeiffer. I'm saying be a fan. Thanks for watching, and do keep yourself tuned in for the men's contest, which will start up at 7 o'clock. But here in the women's opener, it's FC Milwaukee Torrent 4, Milwaukee City A.F.C. 0. So long, everybody. This has been FC Milwaukee Torrent Women's Soccer.